Ever wondered how big a threat Britain's new carrier strike group is to Russia? Now we know, as never-heard-before details of HMS Queen Elizabeth's encounter with an old Cold War adversary en route to the Indo-Pacific were revealed.
We were launching the first F-35 sorties from the Mediterranean north into the Black Sea, a round trip of well over 1,000 miles, whilst also sending jets east into Iraq and Syria on 6- and 7-hour missions in support of Operation Shader. And throughout, we were maintaining an on-deck, ready alert capability to respond to Russian air incursions and overflight. Was this all needed? Was it necessary? Yes, it was. There were over 30 live intercepts of armed Russian fighter and bomber aircraft conducted in just over 2 weeks. But it wasn't just about F-35s. Merlin anti-submarine helicopters were working with theatre assets and our frigates to locate and fix the Russian submarines that had deployed to welcome us. And all the while, Crow's Nest, our airborne surveillance aircraft, were flying and cutting their teeth, getting to grips with their new capability. It was this high-tempo operation in the face of a competing and challenging adversary that provided the foundation from which the strike group could prepare for the less familiar but equally contested seas of the Indo-Pacific.
The revelations, broadcast live from the ship's bridge, gave a powerful insight into the global threats facing the Royal Navy. It was part of a second day of the Pacific Future Forum, hosted by sister ship HMS Prince of Wales in Portsmouth, and it saw the head of the senior service give a stern defence of the so-called Indo-Pacific tilt. He cited how the tilt, announced in March, had already made huge progress, with new partnerships and the presence of the carrier strike group, as well as closer relations with India.
Then on top of that, you have the strategic announcement about AUKUS. So I think this is a rich period where we actually are following through on a policy announcement and in a very substantial way.
At 65,000 tonnes, these ships can certainly project power and perhaps help tilt the UK toward the Indo-Pacific region. But the question being asked below this deck is whether Britain's mix of hard and soft power is a winning combination.
This is about working with allies, and this is about getting to know and building a deeper relationship with some long-standing allies. This year the Five Power Defence Arrangement celebrates its 50th anniversary, so that's working with Malaysia, Singapore, New Zealand and Australia. We've got our long-standing, deep strategic relationship, of course, with the United States, and then we've got relationships with a number of other nations around the region. So this is about working with them, building that understanding of the region, understanding the dynamics of the region. And so when we talk about a tilt to the Indo-Pacific, it's a tilt that's done on the terms of our friends and allies and deepening those relationships, and that's what it's all about.
You mentioned the tilt. Which way do the scales tilt with regard to soft power and hard power? Are we there? We're there with a presence, but it's importantly a military presence. What message is that sending both to allies but also to those challenging the rules-based system?
So I don't see it as a balance between soft and hard power. It's a continuum. And of course, it's not just military soft and hard power. It's about all of the arms of government. Everything that the United Kingdom does in the region contributes to that deepening and amplifying our relationships and amplifying our influence in the region. So whilst the hard military power, this phenomenal air and maritime force, which is the carrier strike group, is part of it, that only comes to life if we use all of the other elements of government power, sort of the diplomacy, our engagement, our social engagement, that actually brings it all together.
HMS Queen Elizabeth will have worked with 40 nations by the time she completes her mission, and the potential of Britain's carriers is still growing. HMS Prince of Wales has just returned from trialling drone capability. A glimpse of what's to come. Tom Sables, Forces News. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.